let's I guess let's talk about. That's my Wi-Fi. Okay. I want to talk about that CEO who met his unfortunate demise in the hands of a crazy madman person. And you know, something has me bothered by the whole situation. And, and while I know that, the healthcare system in this country is the very farthest from perfect that it can be, and I know that corporate greed exists. Um, Mephisto, what's up? He's a United Healthcare CEO, so one of the largest healthcare providers in the states, was basically gunned down in New York City. He was on his way to a meeting. Guy knew his schedule, basically walked up behind him, put two in his back, or he like shot him in the back and then like continued to still fire on him, like even after the gun jammed. Um, so I'm just like giving it a little bit of thought about my thoughts on everything, because I think the unfortunate part of all of this is that this situation, I think, almost details the state of the world and like where people are at. They take an awful situation like this, and because they're unhappy with the healthcare system, it becomes a joke about how, well, if only he'd been approved for his his surgery or for this or for that, and I think there's a quote out there that the guy, you know it all comes down to being denied for something. People have been denied something. Healthcare sucks. So this guy was like, there people are rationalizing the outcome of this whole thing as if, well, he had it coming, or it was deserved in some way because we can't fix shit. Again, corporate greed aside, it doesn't give anyone the right to take from someone else. It just like TikTok, especially, if you look at some of the comments surrounding like videos on this and what's going on, they're just awful. I mean, I guess some of them are funny, but the way I kind of look at it is like this is where we're at. Like we like I the states again has a broken healthcare system in that it's largely fueled by by profits, which by the way you know you I lost my train of thought. Fuck. Apathy at an all-time high. Yeah, it's, well, even someone I went to high school with, like the guy I had a conversation with in my podcast, like he, basically like, well, if only he had approved that guy's whatever. It's like, are you out of your mind? Like, this doesn't have like, we're, I can't rationalize this in my head. As much as you hate a CEO, that doesn't give you the right to go and take his life. I don't care how pissed you are that, like, because remember, this is the inaction of Congress, right? This is the inaction of the U.S. House of Representatives and Senate. Their inaction with the Affordable Care Act has basically brought us to where we are today. No one has done anything to help improve that. What's up, EmperorDoomsDay? Good to see you, brother. So, like, the fact that it's like, I mean, part of it, so a broken healthcare system, it's part of it. I'm honestly not going to sit here and side with the masses in that this guy was justified in doing what he was doing. Like, you don't have the right to play judge, jury, executioner in all of this. It's despicable. It's awful. Yeah, the ACA should be abolished. I'm not arguing that, but they're again, the people who have the power to change it don't do it. So what do? They go after the people who are running it, which again, they're just a part of the system that is created. Oh, dude, like I'm not know if the masses are saying it. So many comments that I'm seeing out there, static, are basically saying, like, in one form or another, that this was somehow justified the because healthcare is broken, because this guy was part of the problem, because he denied coverage to so many people. Like UHC, United Healthcare has the highest rate of, like, declined claims. I'm not asking anyone to lose sleep over it, but again, like, I think attaching an outcome to, like, this guy's job, like again, I don't know, man. I think that's a shit approach. If I'm being completely honest, I think that is devoid of any, like, I think it's devoid of human decency. That guy, as far as I know, has a family. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm misinformed on that. What, he made the decision to decline coverage? You know that every insurance claim that comes across, like, that company doesn't go to his desk, right? You know that's not how it works. You know that adjusters are responsible for declining coverage. You know that, right? Like, that's how it goes. Like, that's not how insurance claims work. They don't go to the CEO of any company and then get declined. Right? So it's a similar logic to, if I don't know. He sets the rules for denial of coverage. Right. I don't know. I find that, like, again, it's weird. We're almost arguing over semantics on, well, he deserved his life taken because he set the rules. Like, no, the point is that nobody has the right to take a life. I think that's part of it. And the least of all, to be gunned down in cold blood and like, in the, like, mid morning at all. But from behind, guy runs up, walks up on him. So here's how it happens, right? Guy comes up behind him, shoots him in the back. The gun jams. He unjams the gun and then continues to fire on the guy. Let's think for a second, if you make a decision in your work that people don't like by and large, but you're kind of, like, beholden to it, or, like, you have to do it. Are people then justified to take out any sort of aggression on you or your family? Nope. I just disagree. I just I just think it's a shit way of looking at it. I just think it's a really bad way of looking at it. Really, the conversation is more about how people are, like, just sort of like, oh. Again, the whole, like, he had it coming, um, thing is my biggest concern. It's really my biggest concern. Again, I'm not happy with certainly not happy with how the world It's always interesting though, because like I deal with insurance quite a bit, and there are a lot of denial on claims even in construction, and it's not even necessarily denial of the claim as much as it is like, this is actually what we're covering, we can't cover all of it. You know, I like in the case of like healthcare, I've never had an issue with my coverage. Again, my experience is indicative of nothing, I suppose. It's anecdotal, so it doesn't matter. But I have a myriad of health issues myself, and even with before, after the ACA stuff happened, my pre-existing conditions never stopped me from getting the care that I required. I don't know. They've always been in a window that was affordable enough. But it was never ideal, like I was paying, but if I was paying, but again, I was working. A lot of times the jobs I sought out or had were covered. It's just unfortunate. It's truly unfortunate where I find like the world where people are just kind of like, shouldn't have denied those claims. You know, like, I get it, man. I get it. I get it. I even wonder, because I don't fully know how the system works. Is he directly responsible for all of those denials because of rules that he set, or is it rules by committee? He was playing a life and death game. Shit got real on it. I disagree. No, exactly. To agree with that is silly. He's not playing a life and death game because he's not the one actually to, like, I don't know why this is hard to understand. He's not sitting there like the fucking Joker or the Riddler being like, riddle me this, cancer stage 4, haha, no coverage for you, haha, next time try again. Like, I don't know. Hey, Arkasul, you can absolutely, if you don't care for my opinion on it, then you can go about your day. Don't stick around if you don't want to hear me talk. All these conversations are me venting about things that I see. That's the premise of it all, dude. That's the premise of it all. I don't have to be right. I can just be really disgusted by what I see. I could absolutely be upset with it. I don't believe that he's as directly responsible for all of this the way you guys do. And I certainly don't think, as much of a piece of shit that he is, that, you know, that this was somehow based of this guy to shoot him in the back. No, and that's fine. Like, you know, you just set it up here. Why do I care? Why are you so hung up on this? I'm hung up on it. Dude died, move on with your life. I just, like, that's your comment. Why do I care so much about some random ass CEO? It's less to do with that and less to do with, and more to do with people's, I mean, you even said at the beginning, the apathy people are experiencing right now with it, that we're so far removed from like caring, like literally everyone's justifying just going up behind this guy and bang. And not only just bang, but like bang, 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 and then run away. You know, like, that is what I mean, is like, I'm not simping for big pharma or for big health or whatever you want to call it. Like, I think both things can be true at the same time. I can certainly be outraged that people aren't getting the coverage they need and they're fucking pissed. I could also be pissed that a lot of people are out there being like, this motherfucker had it coming. Like, what? So that's where we're just gonna start. Now we're just gonna say, well, like, anyone can play judge, jury, executioner because someone had it coming long enough. But you are satisfied agreeing with the company's premise. I'm not. No. Maybe I'm just a big health guy that just wants to see everyone die. You know, it's possible. It's definitely possible. I'm just bummed, man. It's I don't know. I guess I just thought people were like better in some regard, and it's not shade at anyone. It's not shade at anyone I know, anyone here. And but I also knew that by expressing the opinion that I would get pushback. I knew that people would be like, oh, what? Like, this guy's fucking terrible. You know, I don't know. I guess I would much rather see like true justice in like the system working, right? Like people discovering like how bad the system is, and then, you know, and somehow fixing it that way. You know. No, nothing will change in the end, unfortunately. You know, you know, I guess it's, you know, again, I guess in some regard, I just wish there was some. No, I mean, I know that that's not what happened. Again, the wish is that whatever course of action someone took, it was, you know, less lethal. Like, even like the death penalty, I know is like is a reasonable thing that some people require. There's crimes heinous enough to warrant that. I guess I just want it to be reached in the proper way. I guess the idea of a vigilante, it doesn't sit well with me. You know, like the vigilante justice thing, as much as it's romanticized with other heroes, I just, you know, that's all. And that's where you and I disagree, Trey. I think that's where you and I always disagree. I mean, in the real world, I don't like vigilantes. Like, I suppose it's great to romanticize about, like, you know, taking matters into your own hands, but it's not like the problem is like the problem is like when things like this, you know, there's absolutely a way to combat this that doesn't require cold blood murder. What the fuck? You know, like that's I guess my issue. And just so, you know, again, it's just like, I mean, they're both humans. They're both humans. Like both of those situations are awful in their own right. You know, like I mean, certainly. I mean, if I'm being honest, Laken Riley is definitely one for sure. This is I don't know. I think it's totally different, and you know it's different. Yeah, I think you're right. I think my trust in the system is optimistic for sure. But I could be like these commentary YouTubers and make a fucking shit ass video every day about how nothing good is going to come of it, or I can just try and be a little bit different and better and be a little bit more optimistic about the future. Like again, I just because something has been shit in the past doesn't mean I have to constantly feed into this is going to be shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm like that approach to me is so fucking boring. Like oh, like it's just you can't be optimistic because nothing is optimistic. Nothing has been good. Like that's a waste of time. It's again in my opinion, no shade. It's just where I'm at with things. The system works occasionally, not all the time, but oh man, I can't say it's like foggy out. It's like people are getting in accidents. It looks like this coffee it was like this coffee was literally like poured out of Kilauea. It's insane. Yeah. Holy shit, it's fucking hot in here. Woo. Hey, Late Art, how are you? Yeah. I wish I knew how to like bring people into these lives because I can't do it like on Discord. I don't think it'll pick up audio. Look, like you know, I understand. I understand everyone's position on this. I understand like why I'm foolish to believe that anything good could come from this system. You know, like I get it. I get it. Like, but how? So how do you move past that? So how do you fix that system? How do you move past? Do you shoot everyone that you don't like? Is that like, well, we got here by being complacent and putting blinders on, so then we just take out whoever we want until it's fixed. It's like again, it then kind of goes back to like the eye for an eye situation. You build back better, unironically. Like, so that's no more of a plan, I suppose, than what I'm saying. You know, I'm like essentially saying the same thing. Like, I want to build back better too, but I don't want to fucking shoot people in the process. I want to give people the benefit of the doubt. I want to like pay it forward with people. I want, you know, there's obviously some huge rot within the government itself that, I mean, because it kind of starts there with this stuff and regulating this stuff. So again, like it becomes a real question of like, well, how do we get there? Because I understand realism and I understand all that stuff, but the reality is that the seed has to be planted somewhere and has to be nourished somewhere. And there's always going to be weeds that you got to continue to pull up. There is no such thing as a utopia. There's no such thing as the Garden of Eden. There's no such thing as like a place where no weeds grow at all. Well, I know there's people in chat who will disagree with that, but you get what I'm saying. Every place has its weeds, but the only way to maintain that is to properly manage it, right? Is to pull those things out, recognize the bad when you see it, pulling it out. Did I say that there was going to be any? I was not saying that the solution is going to be like to see you understand, but you're rational. Rationalizing is proving how you don't. Oh, okay. Let's go away. I mean, if that's you know, that's, I guess so. I guess. This coffee's so damn hot, I can't even drink it. I'm pissed because I need coffee. Is there not a regulatory body over like public health anyway? Like, is there, like, I guess the solution is like, I understand that he is, like, he's the CEO. Okay, what I don't understand, here's the thing I don't understand. What does his job entail exactly? Is he the one, singularly, just the one person, just him, one person in a room sitting down thinking of rules and writing it up? Is that what he's doing? Like, unironically, can you say for sure that he is sitting in a room making up rules on his own that are denying people health care and actually killing them or not giving them the treatment? That becomes the question. Can you make the analogy that what he's doing is similar to, like, choking someone to death or shooting someone? Because I guess then you could, like, say, oh, well, this guy was acting in self-defense because this guy just kills people all the time. He just willy-nilly. He authorized each new decision on policy coverage and denial. Okay. All right. There's something in this couple that's bothering me. Well, yeah, still seems a bit much. Still seems a bit much. I mean, I don't know, man. It'd be hard pressed to get me to say, yeah, he deserved it. I don't know. My brother did a lot of shitty things when he was on drugs and everything, but not once to it, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't necessarily wish harm on the guy. I don't know. Not a good example, I'm sure, though. Understand. Yeah, I don't. Need to pull up my directions so I remember where I'm going. Ooh, it's hot in here, boys. Yeah, this is a hard one to hash out. Yeah, no, I understand that example. I mean, I understand. I just don't agree with. I don't agree with the outcome of his life. You know, like, I don't like. I don't know. It's. I don't know. I mean, some of the jokes are funny. I mean, and from a comedic standpoint, some of the jokes are funny. But, I'm not going to deny the. I mean, I think it's people applauding his demise. I mean, if you don't want to care about him dying, I guess that's fine. That's totally fine. That I'll concede. I'll concede that point. Someone like him, you're fine to be apathetic about it and move on and not care about it. I think celebrating it is the twisted thing here, is the real nefarious thing. So, because again, I know that there's problems. I know that there's problems with with insurance. I know that the world would likely be better off with the ACA abolished or completely redone. It's. But yeah, it's the celebration of it. Like from when it happened yesterday to like looking at the stuff now, I just saw like, wow, like people. Again, all the criticism in the world to that world, and again, it's not a justification of what he's done. I'm not saying what he's done is good or is a net good for people. He was a victim of corporate greed in the same way that all of these people are. Like, oh, well, I can do that. Well, I'm being told by my board that I have to do this. I have to maximize profits here, and this is how I'm going to do it. Which again is not. I'm not saying that's good at all, but I'm celebrating someone dying. I think is the strange part. Oh my god, I wish this coffee was not that hot. Like, good lord. Anyone else hate it when like you put your cup in the cup holder and it doesn't go in all the way? It like slants to the right. Yeah, very true. The problem again, and this I guess is where it kind of goes back to. There's little. It seems to me that there's little oversight on what these companies do and what they're able to do. It's why these corporate lobbies. These lobbies are like they work inside of Washington to make sure that they're taken care of, that their drugs are pushed, that their company name is out in front of everything. Like, that's why I say in a lot of ways, it's the rot in our government that's allowed like companies to operate this way. And it's a hard place to be in too, because I don't want to necessarily advocate for more government regulation, but in this way, like I don't want like all of these big pharma companies to just be like pure profit. Now I know I know it's necessary in a lot of ways, because you need to innovate, you need to make better products and be able to research and all that. But like there has to be and I think that's one of the things that RFK is like trying to battle too. RFK Jr. is trying to battle a lot of this stuff is to make them more, maybe not the insurance company, but big pharma companies. We're just discussing that whole situation. The United Healthcare CEO just got completely eradicated in broad daylight, deleted, if you will. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Less government, so they have no one to lobby to. Um, I just, the problem exists in there somewhere, is how I see it. Like, when, you know, fucking faces. No, the bridge of my nose is sweating like crazy. Yeah, you just want to get to a point that, I'm not saying the evil won't persist. I'm not of the fantasy that evil just disappears with a few regulations, or at all. I understand that evil is there regardless. But, I mean, that's one of the biggest, what was one of my biggest issues is the lobbyists in government. But, it's, then saying fix lobbying won't actually fix it. No, I understand. I mean, again, this is where nihilism kicks in. It's like, well, evil's always going to be there, so why bother doing anything? Like, it's like, in some small respect, like life is just work. Like, you can't plant a garden, and again, you can't plant a garden and expect no weeds to drop in. Like, sure, you can put weed killer in there, but like, you're going to affect like your actual plants, or like sometimes you got to manually get in there and manage everything. Like, it's work to do that. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying there's just like a fixed lobbying and poof, it's all done. Like, there's actual consistent work that needs to be done. Like, good people put in the right places, and it'll be hit or miss. Like, this is like the big problem with like presenting a possible solution is sometimes like people are like, well, that's just not going to fix it all. Like, I understand that, but like there's things that you can do to prevent things from happening. It's like general maintenance on your car. Like, a brand new part in there will only go so far in a car that has 150,000 miles in it. Like, there's other things that you're gonna have to manage too. Like, the brakes are then gonna go, and your blinker fluid's gonna have to be changed, and all that. I don't have the whole solution laid out in front of me right now, but I'm trying to think. I'm trying to, again, like, none of what I say will come true unless people want it to come true, right? You need to find people that are willing to stand up against these big lobbyist groups. Without that, you're not going to find you're not going to find a way through. It's just going to be a bunch of talk. And I certainly don't have the temperament for it, or the time, or the will. But like, I guess my point, even like, I guess, stance in it is, if there's a difference to be made, it's on the individual level with how we kind of view the outcome of this whole thing. Was the guy evil? Perhaps. In a very corporate way, maybe he was evil. Should we celebrate the death like him? I don't know. I don't think so. My opinion is no. Everyone in chat, you guys can have a birthday party over it. You guys can continue doing what you're doing. Enjoy your day. You can do any variation of that. But at some point, I have to believe that sometimes I have to believe that we are capable of doing the right thing, however naive that may seem in this moment, and that a fate worse than death is that person rotting in prison for the rest of their life for any atrocities that they may have required others to endure because of a few extra dollars in their pocket. Like that's the best way I can put it, I suppose. That is the very best way at the moment that I can put it. Again, however, I don't necessarily care how naive that seems, because I think that on some level we have to be willing to. We just have to be willing to be the better people. You could have whatever sort of discussion you want on that privately or with me or any whatever, but that it's not something I'm going to say I impose on others, but it's something that I wish others to think about, because I find value in it. So maybe someone else will. In some ways, it's more interesting to learn how to blaze the path forward. Right? It's like you can't put the genie back in the bottle, so like what's more interesting is how people learn to adapt to the times that we have. So, like, how do you manage the internet and all this information, benefit from it, and still press on? I mean, it's easy to press on. It's easy to press on. One thing I've been doing, I didn't say that. I was gonna tweet about it, but I probably still will. But one thing I have been doing the past 2 days. Yeah, Art just wants his wife to stay in the kitchen. He's got to have a wife first. That fuck doll he calls wifey is not enough. One thing I've been doing the past 2 days is when I get home from work or get done working, I put my phone on the counter, and I don't look at it unless something's like going off or it like rings. I just put it to the side, and I don't engage once I'm home, like for the evening. It has been fantastic, to say the least. And if you see me on Discord, if I'm responding on Discord, it's because I'm at my computer for a second. But like the no internet on the phone. Hey, it's nothing you haven't heard before. Nothing you haven't heard before. I find those actions masturbatory. No, seriously, like, I think, like, fuck it, it's such a cliche shit to say anymore, but, like, be the change you want to see in the world. Like, that approach is so fucking easy when you really just think about it. Oh, you don't want people on the internet all the time? Don't be on the internet all the time. Because one, there's no reason to always be there, especially when you have a family and kids. Like, there's plenty going on in front of you that you can enjoy and you should enjoy. Like, being kind to someone doesn't cost a fucking penny. I would venture to say that being shitty and apathetic to others is is more energy than all of that. If I had some time, I could probably justify that a little better. But in my mind, it takes way more energy to like, I don't know. Because like sometimes when people are like, oh, I'm just apathetic to that, a lot of times what they mean is like, I'm actively giving that thing negative energy, but also I'm acknowledging I'm ignoring it. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, I know that's not the definition of apathy, but in some regard, I think the apathy angle is, oh shit, did I go the wrong way? Is way more energy than like being kind, or you don't have to be kind. Like I'm not saying like, oh, hey, when you meet this guy in whenever, like be really kind. Like no, like I think in some regards people have lost the basic human decency. In some regard. All right, man. Be kind, rewind, brother. That's what I'm saying. Like, I heard something a while ago that our life is run mostly by small moments. Like a bunch of people are like waiting for these like big moments all the time. When it's not these big moments that people wait for. It's the dozens and dozens of tiny moments that people just sort of like let fly by them. And I think that's what, like, I've said it before, like there opportunity every day with hundreds of moments to be just good. The internet, as much as all this is real to me, like it's just a sounding board for like my ideas. But I can elicit some real change by just being kind to my kids and my wife and my neighbor and the person I see at the checkout counter. Like I see 2 or 3 people with purple pink hair at the supermarket. But am I apathetic towards them? No, I'm polite and nice because they've never given me any reason to be otherwise. Because they're kind to my kids when they see them. They immediately give them stickers. Yeah, later, like it's kind of, and maybe this is where a lot of this is rooted, is that like I just want people to be kind in the end. Junebug, what's up? Good morning. How are you? I choose to become worse. I don't know. I understand where people come from. I understand apathy. I do. I really do. And I know a lot of this seems like I don't know enough, and I'm being willfully ignorant of certain facts, but like I want to believe people are better than like celebrating someone's death. Corporate greed is bad, and denying coverage on things like it's not. And the other thing I'll say is that it's not always so cut and dry when it comes to the denial of coverage. Like, I don't know what each specific case is, and no one does. And I'll be honest, the one thing I have to do is read more into what exactly he was denying, like the specific things that he was denying and how that may have had an effect. Because really, most of what I'm commenting on right now is how people are reacting, like in a celebratory manner. I think maybe I'm not trying to be ignorant on the whole thing. I'm not trying to be ignorant on the whole thing. I'm like I said, I'm reacting to what I've seen. I want to look more into like the actual things that he has like signed off on that have caused that may have caused, you know, it all to come to this point. Oh man, turn this shit on. Directions are. Sorry, I took a wrong turn, so I'm making sure I'm going the right way back to where I'm going. And this road I'm on right now is super windy. But it's a beautiful view up here, if it weren't so friggin' foggy. Yeah, man. I trust me. I understand. I understand where people are coming from, pushing back on me. I trust me. I knew that this discussion was going to give me some pushback. It's just, I think it's the nature of the topic. Like I know my audience well enough to know that people were gonna be like, "What the fuck, bro? Like you're smarter than this." And I guess the truthful answer to, like, the truthful response is that this is more of an emotional conversation about things I've seen. Like, do I have the full scope? No, I don't have the full scope of what he's done. But in my opinion, I don't think that's enough to condemn the individual to death. And Trey, I see you just sent me something, and I can't even look at it right this minute because I think it'll shut down the stream. And I'm driving on this crazy winding road. But I can read it after. I gotta like trudge through like 5 feet of snow for about a half a mile in a second. Because the only way I can verify this fucking job has been done is to go up there by myself. I think it's, but also I think it's also, I can't even talk. Wait, you guys have snow? Oh yeah, in Utah we definitely do. Well, so where I live, there's giant mountains everywhere. I'll show you guys. I'll stay on like while I'm up there, and maybe I'll just walk in with the camera on, and you can see how much snow is up here. It's crazy. It's a giant. It's a snow resort, so it's up in the mountains basically. So they usually get snow super early. I think they got about like 2 feet of snow fairly quick, and it might just still be kind of the same thing. I just know my tires aren't good enough in the F-150 to get into where I need to go, so I'm gonna have to hoof it, which sucks, but it'll be a good workout. But I still got 20 minutes before I get in there. It's not the tires, it's the F-150, yeah. Hasmer asked me what I thought about utilitarianism. I don't know. It's one of those things that I feel like, like in some regards, is like I've benefited from the system in a way that, like, it's probably my most progressive, like the most progressive aspect of everything is that, like, I've benefited from systems that benefit a greater good, and but but I don't like I don't know. I don't know how to explain this exactly. Um, like I do think that there is a huge benefit to a lot of these systems that try and benefit a greater good, um, and that are there as a support for a lot of people. I think the system is broken in ways that it doesn't necessarily incentivize people to break free of them, but just be dependent on them. And that is one of my biggest issues with them all. But I don't know. It's not a hard question to answer. In some aspects I do, in some aspects I don't like utilitarianism. Like, I suppose with, I don't know. It's hard to, like, drill down. Maybe with more questions on it. Like what maybe we should do is just, like, I wish we could hop into a Discord call and, like, let everyone listen. I think you just want there to be more procedure and demeanor. Um, yeah, like, there's a fine line, right? Like, sometimes, like, procedure, if you mean, like, procedure in, like, the way of, like, bureaucracy, can just sort of get in the way of things. Um, like, I don't necessarily want people to just make unilateral decisions when it comes to people's health, um, right? But, I working in insurance for so long, like, I recognize that not everyone, you're not capable of covering everything everyone has. Like, if that makes sense. Like, even in the construction world, like, people, like, the regular person becomes pretty shitty. Like, the regular people can sometimes, like they will, you know, I need this and I need that, and they'll see the worst aspects of people, like, they feel they deserve more, when, like when you go in there and you look at something, like, well, insurance is going to pay for what's been damaged. Now, the trick here is that I'm not a doctor, right? So I can't really say, like, with construction I have a way better understanding of, like, what should be fixed versus, like, what can be fixed. Like, I walk into a house, our company can fix every single thing in your home, but some of it's going to cost money because it's not tied to a loss. Um, it's, but yeah, insurance is kind of like, it's not a shitty thing. It's helpful, but it's not helpful until it's helpful. So you're paying for this thing that you're not using sometimes your entire life. Like, there was a lady that was all upset. She was like 90 years old, the sweetest lady I ever talked to, and she's like, well, I have, I've been paying this. We've been paying our insurance our entire life, and, like, now they denied this thing, and like she ended up getting everything she wanted, but like right off the bat, like some stuff was denied. Yeah, it's a free loan till you need it. Yeah, so yeah, supposedly. Um, what I tell people a lot of times, and maybe I shouldn't necessarily admit this, but a lot of times it just takes like some work on the insured's part to discuss things with their adjuster. It's different with healthcare. Um, I do know that almost every single like bill I've gotten with the HSAs, yeah, HSAs are good, but it takes money management on the part of the insured. You know, like if you're not using that money for your health insurance, then some people get it and they just spend it. Um, I don't know. I do know, like, or at least in my experience, like, you can defer your health bills for quite a long time. Like, it's one of the things that like people don't necessarily like come after you for. Like, I've paid like $5 a clip on bills until I get on my feet. Uh, like I've had HSAs and they worked fine. Um, but I've also, I've back when I was younger, I dipped into that to like get through some hard times, you know. So like it takes really good management to keep that thing moving, because that was my very first. I mean, there's nothing wrong. The thing with your medical bills is I have to look into this, but I don't think it has any like real positive um, like impact on your credit anyway. Yeah, you're probably right, Nasmer. Um, I mean, you're largely correct, because again, what I see in the construction business, which might be different in health, but a lot of times you'll see things denied, but when you follow up, like especially if the customer follows up with something, a lot of times they'll go back and be, oh, okay, like especially like certain carriers will do that. There's certain carriers that are way more flexible. Um, you know, but there's always going to be some remuneration with it. It's always like, okay, well, how much? Like, how much is this person actually, or this company actually going to give me for this loss? Did they, I've had people go, oh, well, that carpet was worth way more, back in 1970. It's like, well, you're not factoring in depreciation, like you're not factoring in, like, I mean, we have a whole thing that we have to do where we actually test the rug, and we see the quality of it, the threading, the thickness, like all that stuff is like we take into account. Yeah, health insurance is more time sensitive for sure. But the other thing with health insurance is like you can like you can't be denied service, right? Like, so you can go in, like, if there's something wrong with your insurance, they're not going to cover something. Like, might be a very specific example, but like they can't deny you whatever it is, like especially like life-saving care and all that. You could submit that stuff to your insurance afterwards, even if the person. So we had a thing with our dentist that said, they're not, your insurance is out of our network. We don't work with them, so they're not going to cover it. You have to pay out of pocket. Um, and we got the whole thing done, and they sent us a bill, and we said, can you resubmit that to our insurance, because maybe they're like, let's just try, what's the worst that can happen? They resubmitted it, and they ended up taking care of half of it. So like, instead of $120, we paid like $60. So that's, I guess, kind of like, I don't know. I work with insurance so much, so I kind of understand how it works, but it is certainly like this needless, like Nasmer said, this bureaucracy Olympics. Oh, with it, they'll deny it if they can't save your life. Which is why Trump is a badass, because dude signed in the right to try shit. Hell yeah, brother. You can try experimental treatments. Fuck yeah. That's our boy. That's our boy right there. Yeah, so like what then, I don't know. So is that what he's denying? Is a lot of that stuff is denying like cancer coverage because there's no possible way to save lives, even though treatments save cancer lives all the time. Right to try these nuts, bitch. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Andy? Yeah, I. Yeah. Yeah, it sucks, man. There's a lot out there. I mean, degenerative diseases are tough. Like Alzheimer's, dementia, cancer after a certain point is like nearly impossible to clear up. It sucks that they're not. Yeah. And then the question becomes like, are they justified in that? Because like, what's the rate of of remission at that point? And should it matter, right? Like, shouldn't we give everyone a fighting chance? Like, at the end of the day, everyone should have a chance to try and get better. Like, should they allow, a few rounds to elite? Like, oh, maybe at that point. But usually stage 4, there's no coming back because it's all over your body, right? Isn't that kind of how they define that stuff? Is that it's just sort of overtaken everything? Yeah. It's like this, and this is where I think people get lost in the sauce, especially as CEOs, is because they think like they're so far removed from it at that point that like to them, like is there really coming back from that? Right, right. And again, another problem with the system is not allowing those experimental treatments. Like we're having like an issue with my mother-in-law, and like we were talking about like there's stuff that's not approved, like Mediterranean diets are really good for memory, but it's not approved by the FDA. So the memory care facilities aren't allowing that diet, or they're not serving it, even though like it's known that Mediterranean diets are really good for memory patients. That's why, like, you know, it sucks. It sucks wall to wall. I mean, I get why they're frustrated. I just don't. Again, this just becomes a rant. This is like really is just a rant about not about just, I don't know, man. I don't want people to celebrate his death as if it's like what we needed. If that makes sense. And like period, the end. And on top of that, I want the CEO. I would love in my fantasy world for the next CEO to come in and be like, shit was fucked up, and now it's time that we try and change things. But the thing is that CEO would be outed in a second because that's not what the powers that be want. So maybe you are right. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's just a black hole of shit. Maybe it's just forever alone Maybe I'm just forever alone in wanting good, positive change in the world. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I guess in the way that he's just a random person, but like it could spark something that it could spark something that may elicit change. Like it is, I'm not saying it's like it is possible, like because of who he is. Okay, this person ran this. They have the highest denial of claims rate of all of the American companies. Like, so maybe there's a problem here, and that we have to try and figure out. Like that, like it could spark something, but does it? You know, I would say that your outlook is no. Nope. This is a time where his death could be consequential for the powers that be. Hey, guess what? The things that you're doing might not be working. And this is a crazy wake-up call, because now his family is left without a father and a husband, and and again, if nothing comes of it, is it a signal to others that, hey, you're fed up with these healthcare companies? Well, just figure out a schedule and fucking blow this guy away. I mean, somebody probably lost their dad. Somebody definitely lost their son. That's kind of that's the point of my discussion. I don't want to go back in time and be best friends with this guy. Like I want to find a way to talk sense into people, in that, like, human beings are vastly better than this. Both from the standpoint of the CEO, and also from the standpoint of the guy killing the CEO. Like the killer and the CEO, we are better than both of those people, and most people are. But like, if you want this country to get better, if you want people to get better, people in their times of need, helping people in their times of need is like, they don't want to be forgotten, especially when people pay into this stuff their whole life. They pay into their insurance their entire lives, they never use it, and then when they do want to use it, they're suddenly denied. Like, I get that. I get that. And something like that can be changed. Something like that can be changed. Even something as simple as like usage rates or something like that. If you haven't used your coverage in this amount of time or up to this much, like, you cannot be denied on a claim. But it sparks conversation, and that is a good thing. And I think that's where I'm at with it. Good things come from really tragic moments, and one of those being like my grandfather, for example. Like, he passed away, and he was the reason I went to Hawaii. And unfortunately, I wouldn't have learned a lesson in my life had he not left early. Had cancer not taken him, I would probably have been in Connecticut for I don't know how long, and I never would have met my wife and had my kids. I would be in a completely different place. I probably wouldn't even be sitting here talking to you. But some of the worst moments of life can come from some of the best change in life can come from really bad moments. At least that's my belief. There's not as much snow up here as I thought there would be, and that's a really good thing, by the way. It's a really, really good thing. I'm still gonna walk in there though, because my tires are like bald, which I probably should get them changed before long, because I don't want to be stuck anywhere. This is my turn, right? Fucking here, shit. That turn came up quick. Woo! Yeah, we're definitely walking, unfortunately. But what I want to do, seeing my baby look at me with real fear in her eyes was a big part in me changing my ways, I hope. Yeah, like, that's, shit. I think I shouldn't maybe park here. Oh boy. Found on road dead. I might be screwed. I need to... where am I going to park this thing? Okay, I am wearing my work boots, so I'm just trying to think of where I should park this thing. That thing says no parking. I don't want to block his snowcat in. Damn it. I might... fuck. I'll ask this cop. Maybe he'll let me park right by those things. How you doing? Do you think I could park right here by the other side of these gas tanks? I gotta walk into the camp here, and I don't want.
You're good right there by there.
Okay, cool. Thanks, man. All right, sweet. Or I would have fucking. All right, good. I would have gotten stuck. That would have been bad. All right, I'm gonna show you. Is that a rescue team, right? Exactly. I'll show you what we got here. See all the snow? Crazy, right? No longer a conversation, it's a walk-versation. You know what? It's chilly, so I'm gonna get my other jacket. Right? We're up in the mountains, though. It's like we're probably at like 8,000 feet here. All right, Trey. Be good, bro. I'm gonna be writing more code myself soon. Got a pretty sweet project that I'm working on. And then, well, it's a beginner project, but it's something that me and some friends are gonna be doing. Leadar, where are you from? Can I ask? You don't have to answer, but figured I'd ask. Oh, that's right. I did know that because I think I've said my family. I at least have records of my family coming. Well, they come from Slovakia. I don't know where exactly, but yeah. But it's definitely chilly, and it's not a short walk. It's probably going to be like for me it's gonna be like an hour round trip. Papers, please. What's up, Krabby? How's it going? Yeah, I'm glad I didn't drive in here. This would have been really bad. At least now I don't have to worry about crashing. But my earbud is about to pop out. I might lose service too. I don't know. See, look at this. Damn, it's quiet up here. It's very quiet. Walking in and out of here sucks. My first time walking in, but it's not that far. It's kind of up a hill. But I need to verify this job is done. So that's what I'm doing. Got anything for bears? No. There's not really bears here. There is mountain lions though. So maybe I should have worried about that. Here, you guys keep an eye on the back. You guys keep an eye on the back. But they hibernate, right? Shit. Anything? Got anything for men in the woods? Well, I left my knife at home. That's the other problem. Oh yeah, yeah. Men are worse than bears, right? I have to go check on a job that our guys are working on because no one's updated me on the job, and my truck can't get in here, so I'm walking in to make sure that it was done. Not really my first choice, but I don't really have a choice. But I'm out of breath because I don't usually walk or exercise at this altitude. So there's a lot of piss. Holy shit. Glad you guys get to join me though. What are you guys doing today? Holy fuck. The air is thinner up there in the wide open mountain. Definitely have to warm up after this. Fighting a cold with carbs and sugar. Nice. I'm fighting the cold with coffee and exercise. Oh, shit. It's brutal. I'm surprised I still have service up here. Honestly, I think that's way more impressive. It's crazy because you don't like feel the altitude until you actually get here. Get walking. Shit, I didn't see what you said, Krabby. What was that? Can't wait to walk out of here because it's all downhill. A warm pie sounds nice. Oh, dude. A warm pie or chicken noodle soup. All that sounds amazing. Lord help me. Yeah, it's so quiet. It's so quiet out here. There's a bunch of like cross-country skiing trails through here that people use. But it's not really a place that people are at in the, like, people come here in the winter, but there's no plumbing up here. If anything, it's like compost toilets and stuff like that, incinerator toilets. Whew. Ain't nobody can say I didn't do my exercise today. And my ass kicked. Hi, Sherry. How's it going? It's not unheard of to get like 50 feet of snow up here, too. Yeah, that's true, Krabby. I would be out here every day if I could. I always think about throwing away a lot of these like modern conveniences and living in places like this. It's so nice and quiet. Like, this is how I would love to be ultimately. Or something closer to this. I would love to have just quiet, not a neighborhood. Neighbors, like, I would like a neighbor like a half mile or a mile away or something. Like, that would be the closest. I don't need anyone closer than that. Be somewhat self-sufficient. That coffee is really hitting my soul right now. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry for the spit. It's fun. It's pretty fun. I'm glad you guys are hanging with me. This is fun little excursion. There you can see like all the snow. There's not a whole lot out here at all. Not at all. Piled up. Shag's practicing to fight Drogo. Just don't eat the yellow snow. Oh shit, okay. Wasn't sure if yellow snow was good or bad. I thought it was just flavored snow. Pretty close to where I need to be. It's not much farther. Is this it? I'm gonna have to try. I think I have to walk down this road. Fuck. It's completely covered in snow, which actually is not a bad thing because, hold on one second. It'll actually probably provide better footing. Or, hold on, it might be possible. Can I see the roof from up here? Fuck, I can't see the roof. Hold on. I can't see if it's fully completed because there's snow on it. I just don't want to have to walk down if I don't have to. I can't get a good vantage point. I have to walk down there. Fuck. There's snow on the roof, but the remaining stuff that needed to be completed looks like it's done. It's like a fascia that needed to be completed. And the part of the roof that was exposed is no longer exposed because there's snow on it. So now we gotta go down that hill. Sweet. But sometimes snow like this is better because it gives you better footing overall. You want to fall though because you don't want to be denied health coverage, right? Someone's been coming in and out of here. No, there's a guy who lives like right next door. Could be him. If these footprints lead to the property I'm going to, I'll be pissed. Because that means the guy's been here and took his photos. He didn't send them to me. It made me come out here, which is annoying. So those are his. These are different footprints. We're on an excursion, y'all, to find the pot of gold. Could be too that these are the footprints for the roofer. I don't know though. I don't know when he came here last. Okay, looks like no one's. Looks like it's definitely been finished. Shit. Almost at the North Pole. It's in my other fucking. No way is my. Oh, of course you can't. Can't see that part of the roof. That's obnoxious. I mean, there's feet leading down here. I can only assume that the roofers came and finished this. Holy shit, there's so much snow. So much snow. Ooh. It's like fucking ice buildup. Not a video. Just need a picture. Looks like this dude was fucking here. All right. Got what I needed. Time to go back out. Exercise was the goal. And we exercise, boy. Okay, don't fall. Don't fall. Don't fall. My guess is contractor who did this came out, saw that it was done, and didn't send pictures, so I had to fucking come out here. I don't know why he would do that, but sometimes people are spiteful bastards. Oh. Look at the shine of that snow, man. Looks so good. Christmas time is here. Love it. Make a snow angel? No. I am not in any shape to do that. I'll make a snow angle. See? Snow angle. What a lovely hike.
Yeah. You know what? You're probably right. Probably right. The only thing we might get pushback on is the fact that there's snow up on that roof that's covering the spot that was not completed. But I don't have anything that's going to reach up there, clear that off. So, so that's why I'm hoping that if someone did come and get pictures, that they got pictures when the roof was actually fully covered. But I would say it's enough because those fascia shingles that were covering basically the arch of that roof are on, and there's there's no way that you could have completed the rest of that part of the roof without the rest of it being done. So I will just hope and pray that what I got is enough, and that my explanation of that will be enough. Because nobody in their right mind is going to make extra work for themselves, especially in a remote location like this. So, whew. Luckily, most of the trip back is downhill. So to that end, I'm thankful. This is the most annoying hill. Shit. The air is thinner up there in the cold mountain air. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, I'm gonna, dude. I'm gonna. I made it. Back in my day, I had to walk to job sites uphill, both ways, in the freezing cold, and a foot of snow. How dare you? Yeah, I think overall, the biggest lesson that I want to instill in people is I think you could also be you'd be apathetic towards a situation like this with the CEO getting killed, but at the same time not celebrating it openly on social media, because the biggest change in our world over the past 15 years is people's communication on social media. The speed at which people communicate is much different. So, like, just, allowing something like this to, again, be apathetic to the situation, but the celebratory nature that I'm seeing a lot of times about it is what I would like to see not happen. In a lot of spaces that we see, actively celebrating, whether it be people's demonetization, them getting fired, for even just stupid reasons, is, I think is part of the problem. And you don't have to agree. I just think that over time will make the biggest difference, because I've said on numerous occasions that cultural changes and shifts are going to happen over the span of a generation, not over the span of a year or two, the way some expect, which is why you see social media taking over the way it did. I do think that over the next generation, you'll likely see the dependence on social media change. It won't just be where everyone goes to communicate, but I think you'll see a return to critical thinking in those avenues, and perhaps that's optimistic. Well, cutting trees like Clark Griswold, yeah, it does seem like it, huh? Now I had to go check on the job and get some confirmation on it so I can get some money collected. So, and now I'm hoofing it back to my truck. So yeah, fun stuff. You know, people's approach to entertainment, people's approach to news, there's realities for sure. I don't think for one second that people will use this as a way to their advantage. You see it every day. People are opportunistic in the ways they want to be. 2 decades before normalcy is returned. It might be. I mean, you're looking at your kids' kids, right? My kids' kids. I think that's a normal turn of other events when it comes to this stuff. So I'm not all that surprised in that. But you know, I don't want it to be the case, but you know, here we are. We have there's no way around it. I think that's just how people learn. They don't learn overnight, they learn over time and how it affects them. The broader swath of the culture and population learns the same way. And it's a lot of times it's much slower in action because of government bureaucratic bullshit or whatever. And people are just human. We are faulty creatures. We are not people who learn quickly, and we don't always do things that are in the interest of the greater good. But I would argue that the utilitarian nature is not inherent in humans on a large scale, but on a much smaller scale. I think humans, by and large, operate best, and I think, as far as I know, this is proven, that we operate best in smaller communities, which, you know, I've made the argument in the past that we'd probably be much better off as multiple nation states, or provinces, rather than one giant country. We vary so greatly from place to place, from region to region in the United States. And anyone who's visited the US from overseas will tell you that there's so many different cultures within our own. And some people don't realize that. I think people even in the US don't realize that. You're looking at a very diverse culture. You have very diverse cultures within cultures. On top of the fact that we take in cultures from around the world. You know, again, people talk about the melting pot all the time, but it's a thing. You know, it's happening daily. The more people that come here, the more cultures integrate into what we've established. And you know, when I think there's people who are trying to do good in establishing multiple cultural threads under one, and I think there's people operating with nefarious purpose at the same time, and they don't know how to. We're just finding, I guess you get to a certain point in societies where you're not fighting any real threat, so we design threats to overcome. You design the parasite or the disease and the cure for it simultaneously. As much of a tinfoil hat as that may sound, I think modern day racism, I think modern day isms and phobes are a direct reflection of that. Is that they are the first world inventing a problem, reinventing a problem from the past to solve today, in order to have a cause. It's not enough. It's not enough to raise your family and be good. Because I think most people have come as far as to realize that we are all in this together, and by and large, aren't racist idiots. But it's we've now been lied to in a way that requires us to defend positions we wouldn't otherwise have to defend. And you got influencers being paid to push that message, and people take it hook, line, and sinker because some attractive female or male is saying it online. And you could argue the same thing for the right. Left and the right do the same stupid shit, while most of the people in the middle are like, I just kind of want to be left alone, and I just want to raise my family and be a part of shit in my town that I'm proud of. And all the while, I don't want stupid shit being influenced on, to my kids. Not a hard ask. Not a hard ask at all. I wish I could do this every day. Just come up here and walk through the woods and talk to y'all. That'd be fantastic. I bet the beast wishes he was here right now in all this snow and not in the 85-degree heat. With a beautiful shore break. Huh? Right, dude? He knows. He's here in spirit. Our mana is connected, brother. I think that's what I feel a lot of times with. I'm suffering here in paradise. You still here? I love it. I hate this. I hate this, but I love it. Beautiful sunny day. Snow. Oh, you gotta love it. I made it out. I didn't get attacked by a mountain lion or a bear or even another man. So, happy to say, you're gonna have to deal with me for, I don't know, another 10 years probably. I'm gonna continue showing up and bothering y'all. Can't help it. I want to be part of your life. Woohoo! Survive. Dude, I'm going to start my own survival show. You see that? If I could survive there, I could survive anywhere. We did it. We did it, fam. Don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time. Just give me a call. Don't stop me now. Don't stop me now. 'Cause I'm having a good time. Having a good time. I don't want to stop at all. And before we get copyright struck for singing an amazing song directly on key. This is how it goes when you're this fucking awesome. Okay, that phone is completely dead. Luckily I got those pictures when I did. Can we just keep this thing rolling? There's no reason to even stop. Oh my god. Oh yeah. I want to do that. I wonder if I could. I bet you I could bring Discord up on my phone and start a Discord call. You gotta be careful.
let myself warm up a bit. Wait, Bitcoin hit 100K? Yeah, yeah, hit up 100K today. And I'm sure everyone's going to attribute that to Trump for some reason. Keep it rolling. What else is there to do? Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. Because I'm having a good time, having a good time. I don't want to stop at all. Yeah. Oh, man. Time is it? 10:30 almost? What's next? What else is on the docket? What else we got going on today, guys? Huh? What else we got going on today? Tell me. Beard's looking fabulous right now, by the way. Let's not get it twisted. Looking fabulous. Wait, hold on. All right, we in. And the sun's gonna be behind me now. This is beautiful. I fucking love it. Should have brought my snowboard up here. Could have just fucking snowboarded the rest of the day. It's 7:30 p.m. So the only thing left is to chill and go to bed sometime later. Nice. I made $3 on Bitcoin and $2 on Doge. Nice. Nice. I haven't done anything with cryptocurrency. I'm not into it. I don't like cryptocurrency is something that if I wanted to, like I would have to like make it a full-time hobby. Because just doing it like here and there, like to me doesn't seem like smart. Like I feel like I would have to like be on it all the time to make any sort of like fun or money from it. I mean, could be wrong. Because I put in some when it hit 1 cent. Oh, nice, dude. Yeah, like Doge seems like would be like a fun investment because there's there's no, how do you put it? There's not like it's me, right? So if it goes big, great. If it doesn't, who cares? You know? The only thing I know or that I've heard regarding like trading is buying on margin is like one of the best ways to make money. That's all I know about that shit. You guys, Ladar, do you ski? Are you a skier out there in Europe? Anyone else a skier or snowboarder? Hello again from Canada. He's back. That's good way of looking at it, Andy. I like that. I like that. I can dig it. I can dig it. Used to ski, but not anymore. How? Why'd you stop? Well, I mean, same thing for me. I used to snowboard, but I don't because my kids are. Well, for a long time I lived in Hawaii, so there's no skiing or snowboarding out there, unless you hike up the mountain. And even then, there's like razor sharp rock that you can fall on. Yeah, and then since being out here, I've had kids, so it's really hard to get out to the mountain. Oh, you gotta. Krabby, are you in Discord? You gotta. I don't remember if you're in Discord or not. Because I really want to. That was a really good idea last night regarding all the like movies and stuff that's upcoming. Oh yeah, Krabby, I agree. They're unhappy people with gambling addictions. Yeah, I think you're 100% right. And if anything, they are for sure, they have a gambling addiction. They might not be unhappy, but they're certainly addicted to gambling. I think tonight I'm going to surprise my wife and get the Family Stone loaded up, and we're going to watch the Family Stone together. I think that's what I'm going to do. Yo, bowling is fucking awesome. I love bowling. I'm not good at bowling. I have so much fun bowling. I would bowl every single day if I could. Bowling is the one sport right now that I would go practice every day to be as good as I possibly can. I work on my spin even when we just go to like Fat Cats, to like the weird like arcade theater thing. Like I go there and I work on my spin all the time. Okay. Well, I can maybe I'll just use Discord like community board and post like what we're going to talk about. I'll do it on both. I know some people don't use Discord, so. But I don't know how many people pay attention to those community posts. I don't make them often, but when I do, I notice that like it's very low interaction. But I also don't have a ton of subscribers, so like I assume not everyone knows. That's a good idea. Good idea. Love it. Because one of the things I want to try and do is give people enough like notice on what's coming up, because some of these discussions will be like video premieres that are live that I'm like in chat for but not doing live, and then so I want people to like I want to have questions ahead of time if anyone does, or like if am I there? Okay, I'm back. The one thing I've always tried to do is have a decent incentive for the memberships. You could make it a oh yeah, you could do that too. Yep. I could also make your questions like a short in and of themselves. Like it could just be like me like responding to your question on as a comment, like on the community post or whatever. That could be another thing. So there's lots of different things to do. And some of those questions might inspire other videos and stuff too, because I know there's questions that I don't even think of. I think the diehards might be the next one I dive into, because those are. I still think Die Hard 2 is the better Christmas movie. and it's never talked about. Die Hard 2, Die Harder never gets talked about as like a great Die Hard movie or even a Christmas movie. So when there's like way more Christmas themes in it, and maybe that's the joke, right? Maybe the joke is, well, Die Hard takes place in LA at Christmas time. There's no snow in LA. Blah 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 blah. Maybe that's the point. I don't know. Going back to the gym, studying martial arts, specifically Aikido, I figured I would add Aikido to my boxing, karate, jiu-jitsu resume. Nice, dude. There is, I actually think my kids have this week have a bring a parent to Taekwondo day, and I've thought maybe about doing it. I don't know if I'm going to do it. Because I thought about getting into martial arts as another way to like get in shape. And just for my own, like just understanding self-defense and all that. But I don't know, man. It's a commitment when you get into that stuff. It's expensive. It's a commitment. Used to be a fighter. Oh, sick, man. And there's other things that I'm like wanting to work on and learn. Like we talked about the video game project, which I'm pretty much like committed to now, like working on and like making that my thing. I really want to get into the coding side of games. What I've realized is I like coding, I like learning coding, and I like level design. I really like those. And the two, like, I do like modeling. I don't like animating. I don't like texturing. 3D modeling is fine. I can do basic stuff. Like I can do low poly stuff. That's fun. Like that's the kind of stuff I want to do. Is like learn the coding, learn like how to make those things work, and then on top of it, learn how to like effective level design. They had one Christmas tree in a cold metallic business building with fax machines, and it's supposed to be called a Christmas movie. You should, man. There's no shortage of content creators out there, but you know, there's few that I think are really, really entertaining. I've realized that there's only, I don't know, you guys are gonna hate me, but I like watching Dr. Disrespect. He's like the only one of that like personality type that I enjoy watching anymore, just because it's fucking hilarious. I think. I know people. I don't need the PDF file thing. I get it. I just when I can catch him, I usually do, and I enjoy his clips. But there's not a whole lot of like live streamers that I watch anymore. The ones I generally do are pretty like, for the most part, they're pretty calm and they're knowledgeable on the games that they're playing. Because a lot of the stuff I want to learn more about how people play certain aspects of games. So that is like usually what I watch. There's a lot of creators out there now that are like they're starting to do like derivative, like Dr. Disrespect sort of content, where they're just sort of like yelling and like swearing and like very, very big, boisterous. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, really, truth be told, I don't watch a whole lot of live streams at all anymore. If any, like, I actually feel really bad because I don't have time I'm willing to dedicate to watching all my friends. And that makes me upset because I want to watch everyone that I'm friends with. I want to watch Brahma, I want to watch Culture, I want to watch comics, I want to watch FNT, I want to watch like all these people play games, but there's not time that I want to devote. Like when I'm not always present when I'm home, and if I'm trying to get on shows, or they all do stuff right when I'm like in the middle of dinner time, bedtime, which, and then after it all, I want to decompress myself, because that really, at the end of the day, the only thing you have is like your time. You only have like the stuff you're willing to give. As kind of crappy as that sounds, like I wish, my wish is that I could find a way to do this like part-time now and turn it into something that was like full-time, right? Like to find like what that avenue is, to find the ability to get there. And that like is like in here, as gay as that sounds. It's in here because it's a matter of pushing through the shit you don't want to do. And I'll be 100% honest with you. A lot of times, at the end of the day, I don't want to do that shit. I want to play games. And that's why I'm here. Play games, sit in Discord, talk to people. It's a very real like confession, because I know now, especially with especially with movies and stuff, there's so much to talk about. There's so much to like look at with movies. One of my favorite accounts right now on TikTok is this guy who is obsessed with the Alien universe, and he digs deep into alien lore, and I love listening to it. I mean, you could do that with everything. You could do that with everything. And I'll get there, because I do enjoy like digging into some lore. I enjoy digging into like how movies came to be made. I used to love special features on DVDs. It was like my favorite thing to watch. Everybody got a limit on their social interaction battery, except politicians. Yeah, exactly. I can relate. I own a renovations company and hardly have time to myself. Yeah. I work for a renovation company, bro. Like, that's what I do. I work with what's it called? It's project manager. Helping projects finished. I can't believe I just hoofed it in that snow. Holy shit. Everyone will be very happy that I did, though, because we needed that big time. And hopefully I can make it to this place and get paid by them. These Karens and Kens are the worst. Oh, bro. Some days it's a little more than I can handle. And I don't know how everything is up in Canada, but in Utah it's not awful, but woo! Okay, sending photos. That's lovely. I'm sure you understand the struggle with photos. If you're in everything, all you do, like half your job is taking pictures. Half of it's rebuilding, the other half is taking pictures. Unreal. Unbelievable. I'm making a salad, and it reminded me of American salad. And why do guys put sauce and potatoes in yours? Wait, what? Sauce and potatoes? Are you talking about potato salad? That's a good question. I don't know. Krabby, where are you from? Are you not from the U.S.? Here I am assuming that you're just from the greatest country on the planet. Just kidding. I don't know why they call it salad. Because it's a jubilee of things in one bowl. Maybe. We're going north, right? That sounds about right. Oh, you're from North Africa, but you live in Sweden. Wow, I did not realize that. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. I am going the wrong way. Holy shit. I thought this went north and west. Whoops. And I think I knew that. I think you had told me at one point or another that was my food is Mediterranean, so I get confused when I see mayo with vegetables. Yeah, hey, I'm not saying it's right, but it is pretty good. Macaroni salad, though, is the way to go. Mac salad, chef's kiss, boy. What's going on with my giant forehead? All right. I tried mac and cheese. I gained 3 pounds. Mac salad is different from mac and cheese, but yeah. I think I'm gonna head out. I drove the wrong direction twice now, so I should probably concentrate on where I'm going. But thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being a part of this long conversation and walk-versation. It's been fun. Hope you guys gained a little perspective out of it. So y'all be cool. I'm hanging out with the wife tonight. Probably be back tomorrow evening for some gaming fun. Y'all be good. Be cool. Check you guys later. Toodles.